Okay, so we might as well get started then. So you guys have basically returned from the attack with the spiders and set fire to half of the forest. Accidentally, of course.
Turned it into a grove.
Definitely didn't mean to do it on purpose.
No, the baby made me do it.
Okay, so you guys have basically come through town. It's late afternoon, so things are sort of starting to close up as they were before, just without the rain. And without bards in the marketplace being attacked by random assassins.
I've got to run inside if it's raining.
No, it's not raining, that's my point.
Good.
So you guys are now back at the Alpha Base. What would you like to do?
I'm going to run in and find some food.
And the rest of you?
I think it's a good idea to go and speak with, I don't remember the name, the bird lady, by the way.
Okay.
Lady.
That's basically what her new name is.
Oh, she's
I
not
don't
the one I
remember.
looked at.
What's her name?
Clarissa.
Okay.
Okay, so you basically enter the Alpha Base. George is standing at attention in the doorway, as he always is. When you step into the main area, you see that Padwin is rolling around on the floor, and Katie is basically in her tiger form and is basically giving Padwin like a licking bath. But Ethan is basically just sitting on the table, and he appears to be composing a song as opposed to singing one. And as he's basically pausing every now and then, scribbling something down on a piece of paper. You can hear sounds of Jen in the war room, but other than that, the rest of the team appear to be absent.
Hello.
What would you guys like to do?
I suppose we should tell somebody that we took care of all the spiders.
She's looking at me.
Okay, so that'll be Jen in the war room.
Oh yeah.
I'll go and do that, I guess.
Okay.
I'll follow you.
Okay. Jen is basically in the war room. She appears to be counting out coins into piles of gold, silver, and copper. But she looks up at you as you enter, but she doesn't lose count, and she finishes counting out a pile of 10 silver, and basically just setting them to one side and beginning to count some more.
Okay, I'll get you one.
Okay, I'm gonna go get you one. But
Mind where you step.
so you took care of the spiders then? She says that she's still counting.
Yeah, and it wasn't a really hard job as well.
That's good. But she continues counting, and she eventually has 4 piles of 10 silver, which she then scoops into a bag, and she just tosses to you, Kashan. Spread that amongst your group. It's a barrel gold each there.
Oh, so that's for us?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Alright, thank you.
Okay, but Josh, what are you doing?
Docker is probably just skulking around doing his normal Docker thing, spinning daggers on his fingers.
Okay.
Looking for his weapon mate.
He's probably just skulking around trying to show off, but he's got no one to show off to. Because is it Jason? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason's obviously not here, so he's trying to like show off, but he's got no one to show off to because Jason's not there.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I'm
means
going to
he's
sit and
friend.
watch. Because I feel sorry for him.
And somebody else is also watching as well. Very closely.
Hello?
Is he? Can I do like a kind of perception check to see if that I can sense that he's there?
Sure.
I'm also sitting in front room so you can see me.
Oh shit! I don't have good perception. Oh, well.
Wait.
A 15.
Okay, he's not really keeping it a secret that he's there, because he's like literally leaning over you as close as he can get without actually falling on top of you. But he isn't actually saying anything. He's like very deliberately trying to get in your personal space.
Okay, so Doctor is going to say, without missing a beat, without looking at him, without saying anything, he's going to say,
A tiger. Ah.
Yeah, it's a tiger.
he's going to say, get away from my backside before I spin this knife into your chest.
Yeah, he straightens up and is like, a man after my own heart, and other bits, and then disappears. Okay, so David, you've been given 40 silver, which basically equates to 4 gold, with the idea that that's for all of you. Okay, McKelly, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna collect my part of the share, as
Okay.
I think is gonna be part of the share,
Sure.
and nothing. I'm just gonna join the guys on the
Okay,
big
2
table.
seconds, having some
Wait
issues with
for
Discord.
instructions.
Okay.
Just sent.
Okay, sure. Okay, so basically 10 silver is the equivalent of 1 gold, so you can either have that in silver, or you can just simply translate over to 1 gold.
I just put 1 gold in, and just easier.
Okay. Okay, so McKelly has taken his share of the silver, so do you want to dish it out to the others?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll
if you all want
share
to
it out, say it's a gift from Jen.
Sure. So if you all want to give yourself either 10 silver or 1 gold. And by the way, David, I'm still waiting for whatever this entertaining thing that's going to be occurring.
So there needs to be a right moment for it.
Okay.
So basically, we've just got to wait until the event happens.
What? Right, how you get you? So it kind of involves Ethan.
Okay, fair enough. Well, on that note, the smell of roasting meat and fish is on the air, along with the smells of garlic and butter. At that point, George basically enters. The rest of the alphas are away on tasks in the city. Should you need medical attention, I am of course at your service. Food will be served within the hour. I would advise you to be punctual, as Master Scroll has a voracious appetite. Food tonight is a snail stew with whitebait starter and white bread.
Ooh,
That's
very nice.
feeling.
Michaeli, do you want to offer any chefness to this?
Oh yeah, I would be, Turek would be absolutely grateful if he can help on cooking.
So George basically nods and gives a short bow. Please. And he leads you into the communal kitchen.
Nice. Let's get cook.
At which point, Padrin manages to escape from his mother's grasp and runs straight over to you. She's trying to eat me.
I will try to eat you.
Oh no! And he runs behind Ethan. Okay, so what do you guys want to do now? Do you just want to wait for food to be served and count that as your long rest?
Oh my god, I've just remembered something.
What?
This
worries me.
I stole Ethan's pipe flute.
Yes, you did.
How did you forget that? Even I have that written down.
Can I try and play it?
Okay, sure. Give me a performance check.
Can I chase after the cat and pretend
I can do performance apparently. Can't do perception. And that's a 19.
Okay, so what basically happens? You sort of
suddenly remember you have this flute.
yeah. So you start playing, and he then starts playing back, and he's basically specifically playing a more complex song than you. So do you try and like match him in complexity of the song?
I mean, let's be honest. This is Docker we're talking about, so yes.
Okay, fair enough. Right, give me another roll. Performance.
This is where I get a nat 1 in it. This is where it happens. It's not a nat 1, but it is a 5 plus 2, so 7.
Ironically, that's exactly what he got. So,
Nice.
so the two of you continue this battle of the bands, as it were. But then,
Can I interject in this and also do a performance check?
okay.
So I've got a plus 4
Sean.
to performance.
Okay.
He's going to start
I
playing
rolled-
his javelin.
No, I rolled
You're
an
gonna start
11.
drumming it on the floor. Dum,
Now,
dum.
in my inventory somewhere, there is also a flute.
Oh God.
So my background thing on D&D Beyond is Gladiator, and apparently performance is one of those. So I'm proficient in.
Yeah.
I got a 19. I'm gonna start playing on the tinderbox. I've got a tinderbox and I'm gonna drum it with the end of my tail.
Okay.
What? I mean, this isn't quite as thin as I thought it was going to be, but what I was hoping was for another incident where Drucker's annoyed at Ethan performing things, and then for me taking off Ethan
give
and
him-
do it myself.
Give him a chance. Give him a chance.
Have you got the
Just
dice?
hang on a second.
I rolled 15, so.
Docker is purely playing this flute just to piss Ethan off.
Okay. So,
Just to say, I've got your flute.
And we all ended up playing instruments.
okay. So,
Number 4.
Maybe I should
Okay.
let this play out more.
so McKelly, what are you doing while this is going on?
Number 3.
To stick with the kicking and try not to hear the kind of music that's coming from the other room.
Daddy, I picked 5.
Okay. So, can you also give me a performance check?
5.
Oh, sorry.
A performance check.
Number 2.
A what?
Performance.
Oh, performance. Oh, sorry. Oh,
Careful.
minus 1.
17.
What's 5 plus 4
Five.
is 9.
So, what did you get?
9.
Well done.
5.
Okay. But
8.
while you are basically now doing the cooking and you're cooking with the pot, you're not exactly adding anything that has already been set, if that makes sense. But you can do another performance check
Maya.
at some other point and see if you add anything else. So, while so that's McKelly's turn. Okay, so are you guys still beatboxing?
Yeah, I'm just playing along to this now.
Okay. Okay. Okay, McKelly, do you want to give me another performance check?
Oui.
5. Diamond and
8.
5.
Okay.
Diamond
But,
and a penny.
so you guys who are in this room, you all get a very distinct and delicious smell of spice and herbs suddenly erupting from the kitchen area.
Ooh.
Okay. So do you guys now want to take your well done, Bubble. Do you guys now want to take your long rest, or do you want to carry on doing whatever it is you're doing?
I'm going to take a long rest and steal food.
I suppose I'll take a rest.
Okay.
I'm taking my rest.
I'm going to carry on dead-eyeing Ethan and playing the flute.
Okay. Right, so if you all want to gather around the table.
You've gone bold on the side.
Okay,
of the
so the rest of the team appears as you start to plate up. Okay, so Jason is the last one to sort of plate up, as it were, and he doesn't bother placing out into his bowl. He just simply eats from the communal pot. And then once you've all finished, Frank comes charging into the room, like actually running in as opposed to just appearing. He's like, I've got it! And he presents some roasted spider legs, which are all on kebab sticks.
I'll pass.
I'm just going to go and scoff them off the plate.
Okay. Okay, so do you guys now want to apply your long rest?
Oh, sorry, I already did.
Done it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I
So,
think everybody kind of did it when you weren't here, Matt.
okay, sure. Okay, so in truth, with the sort of like the weather, it's now sporadically raining. So basically on-off light drizzles.
I'm looking out the window.
Throughout the
and
day.
Skulking off into.
Today.
Yeah. So it's now the following morning, and it's been on-off raining throughout the day. And when you basically get up from your rest, assuming that you haven't stabbed or murdered any bards through the night,
Don't
Jen
promise anything.
Jen basically summons you into the war room.
Us four. Okay.
Yep.
Yes, we follow.
We all spontaneously appear in there.
Okay, so
Teleportation.
So Jason sees you and makes a beeline right next to you. And
Of course he does.
and Docker, you so like hear the shadow in the back of your head. I'm just going to move you over a bit now. But
Yeah.
I
You-
was sunbathing there.
you hear the voice in the shadow voice basically just saying, "What is Birch doing?" And he's basically just standing by the fireplace, and he appears to be sort of like flicking up and down what looks like a brass knuckle, which has various charms hanging from where the knuckles would be. And he's basically flicking each one of these charms up and holding it against the light so that a shadow sort of like falls on where you are.
Right.
Okay, so Jen, not noticing this, basically just says, "Okay, we've had some development on the murders while you were away. Jason, Scott, and Clarissa went over to investigate the red light district. The victim was a lady of the night, shall we say, and she was murdered very, very brutally. Her body was basically lain, and so it was stripped of all of its clothing and then positioned, shall we say, in the form of repentance. So we have a feeling that whoever is doing this is doing so with some sort of religious intent. So if you are feeling up to another mission, we need you to investigate these murders and see if they're linked to the escapee from Esgaroth."
Oh, sounds like a nice quest.
Yeah, we can do that.
Excellent. Alternatively, you could investigate the forest, but we need to wait for the rain to put the fire out, shall we say? Well,
I'll probably offer some apologies for the lizard.
I'm chilling out by the, trying to get to the fire, but Scott won't move. So I'm not apologising for nothing.
do you say that? Or?
I'm just sort of scowling at him and.
Docker doesn't say a word throughout any of this meeting because he's very wary of I can't remember who you said it was, but
Really?
whoever's like flicking up charms that's
Scott, yeah.
casting a shadow over me.
Yeah. Okay, so but do you accept the quest?
I assume so.
I accept the quest, I just don't say anything.
Okay, Michele?
Yep.
Okay. So, we've had a lead come up after investigating the murders. One of the Red Paladins, this is a new order that has arisen in this part of the Isles, has come to us with a request to help find his sister, and he has made it clear that he believes that it's linked to the murders. So make contact with him, He's in the more rundown aspect of the town. Find out what he knows and see what he can do about his sister. This is the first request that the Alphas have had while being in De Winter. So, obviously, if we can make this work and make a good impression, then that will be a victory in itself.
Can't promise anything.
Where should we find the paladin to talk with?
Good question.
He does move around, but in the early hours of the day, he could probably be found near the church. Alternatively, he would be wandering around the lower region, seeing if he can help anyone in need there.
Okay.
Okay, so Docker, can you give me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, what's happening?
11.
Okay. Scott holds up a particular charm to the light, and you feel not necessarily you, but your shadow feels an excruciating burning pain in his where the shadow lands on your chest. You are vaguely aware of it, almost as if you're feeling the pain in terms of it's a sensation, but you're not taking any sort of damage or anything like that. And then and you also maintain your cool enough that you don't let the pain show.
Okay.
However, Scott seems to be satisfied and sort of flicks the charms back into his hand and stops trying to charm you.
Go sleep, you.
Docker will kind of rub his chest where it was, and then as if he's scratching it though, rather than actually rubbing it. He's as if he's scratching it, but he's giving it a rub, and then he's just going to go back to what he was doing.
Sure. Okay, so what do you guys want to do now?
You said
We're being given a
Quest to go find the paladin.
Yeah, so do you want to head out and do that, or do you want to...
not just yet.
Okay.
So while we've got like the various people in the room that are sort of leadership,
Yeah.
I suppose, I want to ask them about the wolf.
Yeah, I forgot about the wolf.
I made a specific note in all caps to ask them about the wolf.
Okay, who are you asking?
I think I'm just going to sort of like address it to the room because like Jen, Birch, Jason, I assume one of them will know.
So Clarissa... No, sorry, Jason answers first and is like, oh, for God's sake, that bloody dog. And then Scott basically pipes up and says, he's not that bad. And he's like, and then Clarissa goes, yes, he is. But you know exactly how stupid that bloody mutt is. And then
Is it friendly?
Scott seems to take offence at this, and he's like, hey. And then she sort of like gives him an almost flirtatious look, and then he basically just goes quiet.
Can I
So to
sniff Scott?
assume.
Can I give Scott a sniff?
Okay, sure. Wait, are you doing this to investigate, or are you just
Yes, I'm
sniffing him in
going to
general?
investigate Scott because that was a funny reaction.
And I give him a sniff.
I got an 11.
Okay. But he smells pretty much the same as before.
Well, last time he smelt like wet dog.
Yes, he still has that dog-like scent about him. Only he's not wet. He's...
Can I make a note to remember that smell?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, so David, I heard you ask a question, but I didn't catch what it was.
So are we to assume that the wolf is friendly?
He has his own agenda. But if he's taken an interest in you, I'd let him do whatever he's doing. This is Jen talking. But let's just say he's got intentions that don't line up with the alphas. And she seems to say that very pointedly to Scott.
Okay. Alright, that's enough info for me for now, I guess.
Dr. McKelly, do you want to say anything?
Nope, I'll stay quiet.
I feel like if Docker was to say what's on his mind, he might get in trouble. So
And since when would that stop him?
Because he doesn't always very.
that's that's very true.
Maybe he's saving the information for a more pertinent moment. That's a very big word, wasn't it? You don't even know what pertinent means.
To give you incentive, Frank appears next to you and is like, he appears he wants to say something, but I can't work out what. Just look at the veins popping out of the side of his head, and he's like poking you in your temple.
Frank, I've told you, get away from me, or I will spin this knife in your heart.
But you've already broken his heart.
Aww.
Would Docker say this? I think he actually would.
You can roll for it. You
Yeah.
can roll for it if you want.
Okay.
Roll a d20 plus. If it's 10 plus, then he says it. Below 10, he doesn't.
Docker is going to put his hands in his sleeves, and he's going to say, but he's going to try and do it in like a very. I'll probably roll deception for it in a minute. But he's going to say it, and he's going to try and say it in a very deceptive way, as if to say like, as if it's nothing. He's going to say, Scott, what are those charms that you are handling?
So Scott then holds up the one that caused a reaction from you again. You mean this one? And it causes the burning-like sensation with the shadow.
Not specifically that one, just all of them in general.
So he flicks it back down. And
I love that Docker has suddenly become slightly German.
that's Docker's deceptive accent. He basically flicks it back and says, "Oh, these things are just totems, trinkets, means of identifying things that we might run into: demons, monsters,
Daddy,
malevolent spirits."
I have a pool.
Who had a
And why are you flicking through them?
No, she hasn't.
Yeah, nervous habit. You never know what might be in the room with you.
She just rolled
For
over to look
example,
at you.
and he holds up a completely different trinket, and from here you hear a slight shrieking noise, and Frank falls out of the ceiling and lands on the floor.
Can I do a insights check?
Sure. What are you inciting for?
All of these action they are going through, and what he says about the trinkets and stuff.
Sure.
Turek sounds a little bit confused and it's not really clear. Anyway, I did a really bad roll, like 10. So.
Okay, no, that's actually enough. But you recognise a number of these trinkets as actually holy symbols. One of which is from your temple, the Temple of the Dead. And the one that you recognise is actually a symbol used to identify different malevolent spirits. You don't necessarily get any indication that he recognises this as something that you would know, or that he seems to appreciate. But in that regard, you think he's telling the truth.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So the voice in your head, Docker, is just saying, "I don't trust him now."
Docker is gonna say to the shadow in his head, he's gonna say, "I never trusted him in the first place," and he's gonna have a tight grip on his blades in his sleeves.
Okay.
And in response to what Scott said, he's gonna say, "Ah, okay, interesting," and then he's just gonna lean back again.
Okay. And then in the in the sort of like channel between you and the spirit, you hear the stranger's voice who basically says, "You know, if you hold on to those swords too tightly, you may break your fingers on the handles." And then silence again.
Docker's not going to react.
Okay. Right, so do you guys now want to head out, or do you want to carry on here?
We can hand out if all of them want as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
And I kind of hang back
Sure.
and ask, after everyone's sort of like left the room towards the entrance, ask Scott if there's anything I should be concerned about with Docker.
And Skull basically looks out after him and is like, "I'm not sure." And flicks, and he appears to have the charm which he has used on Docker, he seems to have specifically in his hands. And he's basically like waving it from one side to the other, and he's like, "I'm really not sure."
Okay. In that case, I'll follow everyone out.
Okay, so
Might need to zoom out of that. Oh.
okay, so you're now in the town of De Winter. It's late morning now, so the town is very much alive and well. Guards are maintaining their patrols, and the market appears to be fully open.
What's the weather like?
It's still sporadically raining. At this point, you're in the dry spell, but it's very overcast.
I'm gonna just wherever we go, I'm running between the little sheltery bits.
Okay. Okay. So this is the temple, and this is like the rundown shanty area.
That's where we got told to go meet the guy.
Should we try that first?
Yeah, I was gonna say, should we just head over that way?
Docker, do you want to say anything in this?
Docker's already gone there.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Docker left you all.
Okay, so you retrace your steps, basically the route that you took whenever you followed Katie. You're basically in the red light district where the body was found. You basically come to an area of town which is incredibly dishevelled. But the buildings that were once here appear to have been completely ruined and then quite haphazardly rebuilt again. You're no longer in an area which is built up with wooden houses. This is all rotten buildings with thatch roofs, and all of them have holes in the ceilings. The place around you is filthy, covered in animal manure, broken rocks, wet stains on the floor, and rubbish just piled up everywhere. All of the buildings are raised off of the ground, where the foundations have been basically raised up to allow for there to be some measure of underground buildings underneath the each of the buildings. You follow the streets and come into a wide open area here, which seems to be sort of like communal area for the lower districts, and this is basically marked by the fact that this is where the well is.
Okay, can I go look in the well?
Sure.
I'm just gonna look down the well and see what I can see.
The well is very deep, and it is actually quite wide, but much wider than a normal well for something this.
Can I drop a stone down it?
You can if you
That's
want.
what she said.
But it's very much. It's 15 feet across in its circumference. So it has multiple buckets, so it would allow for like multiple people to get water from this well at any one time. And it goes down very deep to the point that you can't see the water below it.
Can I drop a stone?
Yep. You don't need
See
to
if
roll
I
for
can
it.
hear
You can just drop.
I want to drop a stone down it and see if I can hear it hit anything at the bottom.
Sure. A good 14 seconds pass before you hear a plop, and then it echoing back up.
Okay, it's a very deep well.
That is rather deep.
Okay.
Can I do a perception check on the area? See if we can see the person that we're supposed to be looking for.
Sure.
Smart perception plus
Right, you might need to
1.
give me another pen. Mine took my pen and won't let me have that one back because apparently it's hers.
First, do we know how it looks like?
You might. Can you give me a religion check?
It's up on top of my...
Easy.
Oh, I was going to say, did we not get a description of the guy?
You didn't ask.
Ah.
He's a red paladin, so I'm assuming.
I mean, he's a red paladin, so someone would wear red.
Yeah, surely he's going to be standing
Some
out. I got a 15 perception.
Okay. But you think hard, and you think very hard of what a red paladin would look like, and you find yourself thinking, if he's a red paladin, he's clearly wearing red, and if he's a paladin, he's probably religious, and therefore he must look exactly like this guy who is there. But it can't possibly be that guy because, well, it just can't be.
You know what was really funny? Docker was just going to turn around and go, I bet it's him!
Okay, so McKelly, do you want to give me that religion check?
Yeah. Oh, interesting. I rolled a 4.
You get the feeling that this guy is wearing red, and you immediately notice this guy.
That's fine as well.
Pizza.
Docker is going to walk forward slightly.
Mm-hmm. Do not
He's
murder
going to
anyone.
point. He's going to point to this man over here and go, he's wearing red and seems religious. Why not ask him?
Alright, we'll approach the man whose name is Red Paladin.
I guess it's a better idea.
Now, what are you doing?
I'm coming too. Sorry.
Am I right? Is he the paladin?
Can I give him a sniff and see if he smells like a red paladin?
What?
Alright, I think we overthought this, boys.
I got 16.
Okay, he smells religious.
I had my religion. Oh, I got my religion. Let's see what that does.
Oh god.
I got a 17 on religion.
He looks religious as well.
Do I
Okay,
recognise
let's
any
just
symbol?
ask him if he's the guy who asked for help.
You all owe me one piece of silver now. I was right.
Never bet on something.
I didn't bet on any silver. I was too busy throwing stones down a well.
Okay, so the paladin is he's a very tall, slender man, and he's basically wearing full, head to toe red robes, and then a golden chest plate, over his chest. But the rest of him is just protected by cloth. So he appears to be a very lightly armoured knight, as it were. And instead of like a helmeted, a visored helmet, he's just wearing a red. He's just wearing a red hood. His shield, however, is pretty much as tall as he is, and he's carrying it on his back.
Does he show any sign of religious symbols?
The gold plate, while also being sort of like contoured to his body, has a big symbol which doesn't appear to be part of the original design of the chest plate. It appears to have been sort of like seared into it afterwards, and it's basically in the form of a three-pronged trident.
Do I recognize more or less what is it?
Yeah, give me a religion check.
Maybe. 14.
Okay, you recognise You recognise him as being of the religious order of the Holy Trout, which is basically done with the symbol of the trident.
He worships a trout.
The Holy Trout.
Do I
Holy
want to know
trout.
about the holy trout?
That smells fishy. Anyway, sorry.
Alright, so he hasn't yet noticed you, despite the sniffing and the heat. He seems very preoccupied with what he's doing. So, does anyone want to break the ice?
Can we help you?
Are you the Red Paladin?
So he basically straightens up, and looks at you, and so
Oh yeah,
So-
careful.
salve, fellow warriors. You must be in response to my letter to the Alphas.
Indeed, we are.
How can we help you?
I'm assuming you are the Red Paladin then.
Yes, I am Red Paladin Renaud de Chevalier.
Knew it.
I understand that you're here about the murders.
Yes.
Very well. Know that the body.
Docker didn't do it.
I know not who this Docker is, but I will take your word for it. However, should this Docker cross my path, I would have words with him, and since that's your loose tongue mentioned his name so readily.
I'm right in front of you.
What? You said you didn't do it, so I told him you didn't do it.
We shall have words later, friend, but for now, we shall move on
Sure
to
we will.
more pressing needs. I trust I can rely on the discretion of the Alphas, for it is such a famed thing, after all.
Of course.
Very well. And he sort of like leads you into this alleyway.
Oh, we're following him. Yep.
The two dragons are sort of belly flop on each other.
I'm on a dragon and a wizard. I was going to sit on the box, and then I wasn't sure if it was a box or some stairs.
Stairs.
I'm going to sort of perch on the stairs to try and make myself taller than him.
There is a matter most delicate, which requires your
I'm
attention.
getting beaten up by a baby.
As you may or may not know, the Red Paladins are war orphans from various conflicts and struggles. And I am no such exception. My parents died fighting the Vikinger invasion that now settles in New Asgard. And I took up the cloth several years ago, and I maintained my faith alongside raising my younger sister. Unfortunately, my sister has fallen into the hands of she-devils.
What are she-devils?
Harlots, unfaithful, unclean women, who I believe have corrupted her for their own nefarious gains.
I'm just going to smile and expect more information.
Unfortunately, he doesn't give it to you and just simply carries on with his story. There is an establishment here in the lower city. It's called the Lover's Shipwreck. It is a place of, shall we say, debauchery and ill taste. He does a series of hand movements across his chest plates, which is very much in way of the Christian, say the Catholic cross, if that makes sense.
Docker is going to say, sounds like my kind of place.
I believe she has been seconded within, and unfortunately my knightly vows prevent me from entering such an establishment, even for noble intent. Should I be seen there, then I fear that my commission with the Red Paladins will be disavowed, and I will be banished from the order.
So you need us to find your sister.
Yes. She is a young girl, like, about this tall, and sort of like indicates someone who is very, very short. And she has blinding white hair, much like our mothers. And her name is Cecilia.
Lydia.
And where might we find her?
And he basically he points to a large establishment which is basically off this map, and basically you should find it there. Be wary though, the monsters that run that establishment are dangerous. Should they find out your intent, I cannot guarantee what they will do to you.
Docker starts walking in the direction of the place he pointed to.
Yeah, I suppose we'll follow.
Alright.
I guess I come to.
Yep, you also.
Should we
You
ask?
might have to
Should
lose
we ask
the
him to just
characters
wait
for me, man.
here while we? Like, how far away is this building?
It's literally just round the corner.
Oh, I mean, I guess we'll ask him to just wait there as well as I leave.
I have business here, so should you return quickly, I will be here. Otherwise, I'll be roaming the streets in search of those who need aid.
Very well.
Do you want to
Right, where we're heading?
Because it sounds tired.
I have a
Bloody
question.
religious types.
You just go head straight in, or you go try and scope the place out first?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Straight there, right? Or-
Which building is it?
Okay, so it's this building. You're currently at the back of it, technically.
I mean, we should probably do some sort of investigation on it. See. what
I
it
will
is.
scope the building,
Okay.
the whole of it, that go all the way around it if I can.
Okay.
Can we just split in two? So one group gets one side, and then the other group goes on the other side, and we met on the end. So,
Do you guys want to do that?
Threaten to knock at the door.
I mean, yeah, we could do.
Okay, so who's for scouting the place out and who's for walking straight in?
I think
I'm
Standing at the door like
I'm
this.
scouting.
Scouts.
Okay.
yeah, scout it first.
Okay. So the building is a 3-story building, and you assume a basement given the layout of the other buildings in the area. It has multiple chimneys, and you can see multiple plumes, a very large amount of smoke coming out of the chimney there. The establishment is seeing a lot of traffic, as it were, like people going in and out. But other than that, you're not seeing anything untoward. There's on the first floor, so ground floor and then floor up, there's a balcony where two half-naked women are basically just leaning out and just being present. Not necessarily doing anything, but sort of like leaning out over the balcony and looking pretty.
Okay. There's nothing else interesting around.
Nothing particularly suspicious.
I'd like to just head to the front door in that case, if we're not seeing anything sort of
I'm
untoward
already at the
outside.
front door. I didn't
Sure.
move. I'm just sitting on the step.
I would
waiting for
like
everyone else
I would
come
like
back.
to try and climb in the balcony.
I was really hoping that would be the case.
Why don't you use him as a climbing frame? He's tall.
Would you like a boost?
I would love a boost.
Alright, so give me climbing with advantage.
So are we using that as acrobatics?
Oh,
Yeah, acrobatics or athletics, whichever one you prefer.
I will use acrobatics. With advantage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Holy shit, I'm so glad that I did that. That is 16. I got a nat 1 on the other one.
Beautiful.
You're welcome.
Okay, so
Yeah, thank you very much.
so you somersault, so you like dive into put David's arms and he flings you up, and you do a triple somersault and land perfectly in the balcony.
Yes.
What's your AC?
13.
Okay. You're immediately struck in the face by one of the prostitutes who has basically just punched you straight in the face.
Lands
Nice.
perfectly. Straight in the face.
And you have taken 3 damage.
That's a really strong punch.
Docker is just going to take that and he's going to kind of
His
shove
China
this
lady.
woman in the face out of his way and go, "Get out of my way, prostitute."
Whoa.
And she basically shouts out, "If you want in, you need to pay."
I flick a piece of silver at her.
Okay, that'll work. Will your friends from downstairs be joining us?
Possibly, I don't know, they might be coming through the bottom door.
Well, then
I'll
they'll
tell him to sort of keep a low profile and head towards the front door.
Okay, so if you want to remove a silver from your inventory, Josh?
Yeah, I have done.
Okay, so you would be up here then.
And then I will not hide. Well, I'll try and be stealthy, basically. I'll try and blend in.
Okay,
Where are the rest of the sorry,
right, so put
that's
the
fine, I'm just adjusting the map.
Okay.
I'm struggling on my screen. Don't mind it.
You enter a very brightly lit corridor, but there's no windows at all opening out into the outside world, so all of this entire area is lit by very, very vivid firelight from torches hanging from the ceiling. You're in a very beautifully furnished corridor with statues on both sides and 2 guardian statues by the front door of angels in sort of like throwing a spear position. The floors are carpeted with very exquisite rugs, and on the far side of the corridor is a very luxurious looking sofa.
Can I investigate the rugs?
Sure. Ow.
Of
See
all
if
of
they- where they
the
were
things,
made.
of all of the things in the corridor, can I investigate the rugs?
I don't know if am I supposed to roll for that or not. I'm just.
Investigate if you want.
Yeah, I will investigate the rugs. 18.
Okay. You recognise this as a silk which your people actually specialise in.
It's from my homeland. I'm admiring our craftsmanship. Thank you very much.
Very, very 1%-y sort of fabrics and craftsmanship. Your people don't trade often with people of the outside world, so it's very, very exquisite material.
Yes. They're very lucky to have this rug. They should not have this rug. This rug should not be here.
Okay.
Can I point this out to anybody else in the room and just get quite upset because they've stolen the rug from my people?
So there are 2 dwarves standing by 2 very thick-set curtains,
I think somebody just run past.
which appear to be leading out of the corridor. These 2 dwarves are very heavily armoured and resemble more like bronze statues as opposed to
Leave the pet alone.
actual people. Michele,
Hi.
are you doing anything?
No, just following.
He got enamoured by the beauty of my people's rugs.
So as you approach, the 2 dwarves sort of like perk up. One of them raises his visor. Good day, lizard folk. Would you be pursuing the wares and entertainments of this establishment?
I want to take my rug back.
And the dwarf just like looks at you with sort of like just a what expression on his face, but he doesn't actually say anything. And the other one basically repeats, Are you here to enjoy the establishment?
I don't understand.
Yes, dwarf, we are. I'll speak over the top of her. standing directly behind, just sort of towering over her back.
Aye then, it'll be a silver each for
You have
entry.
my
Sure,
rug.
I'll toss him a coin.
He has my rug. Why do I pay? I want my rug.
I toss him 2 silver.
This is how you make people pay for stuff. You want your rug back.
Aye, just keep an eye on this one.
I'll tell her that we'll deal with the rug later.
If they get,
Fine.
he just sort of like calls after. Anyone caught stealing loses a hand.
I'm assuming we can go in.
Yep. McKelly, do you want to pay to enter?
Well, I have to, right? So just.
You can try and persuade your way in.
You can persuade your
Yeah,
way as a religious
My
practitioner.
lightness doesn't do it, so I just.
You're the new
have to.
cook. You've come to cook everyone
Yeah,
a
you could-
special exquisite dinner.
Yeah, you can
Physical
try
chef.
and bullshit your way in.
I'm really like I've got -1 in charisma, so I don't think I can do it either way.
I should have tried to intimidate my way in.
We can replay.
Or you could have used brute force like I did.
You still paid your silver though.
I feel like the 2 dwarven guards are a bit different to the prostitute.
Yeah, that's very true.
Okay, so are you paying to get in, McKelly?
I'll just pay. And
Okay.
Go in.
Okay.
I could have been the carpet dealer. I could have been bringing them a new deal, saying that I've got a better one. I think that actually. What's my persuasion though? I've got a +1 on persuasion.
Okay, so you pass into a rectangular room that has 2 doors leading to either side of the corridor, and then you pass through another curtain, which brings you into this wide open space, which is lit with red and blue flames, but produces a very well lit room. A band is playing in the corner, and people appear to be mingling and flirting with the girls that are working here. There's a casino table on the far side of the room, a general seating area, and a bar for drinks and food.
Oh, where should we start from? Oh, can I just roll a perception check if I can see a small lady with white hair or light hair?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. It was at the team. Alright, 13.
Okay. You immediately spot this girl here, who, not necessarily because she matches the description, but because she looks decidedly out of place here. She appears to be quite nervous, whereas all of the other girls matching her sort of like outfit are generating an aura of confidence.
Alright. I'll just shoulder. I don't remember the guy next to me.
For sure.
Yeah, that's done. Pointing with the, just nodding in that direction to let him know to look as well.
Which one was it? Was it this one over next to the stairs? This one?
Yep.
Yeah,
as-
we'll head over.
As you do, but a tall black woman who is dressed in a much more regal looking outfit than the other girls, but in the same sort of colour scheme, wanders over and is like, I take it I see that you have made a selection then.
A selection.
Yeah, she may be new and inexperienced, but she makes up for it with her prettiness, shall we say.
Okay. You said new. How new?
Well, but new enough to ensure that prices are met, supply and demand and all that.
Can I see them gesturing towards the girl by the stairs? Because obviously I'm not with them.
Yeah, you're basically on the balcony, like looking over. But you can see them, and you can see that they've seen something in front of this statue, but you can't see what specifically. Your attention is taken over by the fact that there's 4 people playing instruments that all look like Ethan because of the red and blue light.
Can I shout to Tucker? Look! Music! You hate music!
Docker
So have we been
is
kind of like-
going...
Go ahead.
Sorry. Because Doc has seen that you're all kind of interested in something in front of the statue, he's going to start walking down the stairs, almost to kind of investigate
You can
what's there.
sing a song.
Okay.
So have we been like intercepted like before we got over to by this black one?
She specifically intercepted McKelly.
Okay. Without giving sort of too much away, I'll sort of like. Do I notice? I'll know where Docker is in this situation, surely.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll sort of like gesture him towards the woman to find out what's happening there.
Okay.
So Docker is then going to stand next to it and gesture to Kashan, as in, and like point to her, as if to say, "Is this who you mean?"
Can I just
Yeah.
blurt out and just say, are you the paladin person?
Right.
So,
Docker instantly face palms his head.
I'm talking to her, there's no one around.
The lizard running around with the rug.
and she basically responds to.
My rug could come in handy.
She basically responds, no, my name is Cecilia.
So you are a paladin lady.
No, my name is
Paladin lady.
No, I
Paladin lady.
I don't know any paladins. Who are you?
Docker is going to interject in this and go, "Tordrum, shut up!"
But is she lying about who she is?
Stop! And then Docker's going to kind of slowly shimmer himself in front of it, in front of Tordrum, sorry,
Yeah, sure.
and just say, "Did you say your name is Cecilia?"
No, my name is Cecilia.
Sorry,
Check. That
out
is
of
the name
character.
of the woman that we're looking for. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
out of character. That is who we're looking for. Isn't it? That is the name.
The paladin gave you a name that sounds similar to it, like Cecilia.
Not Celia.
Because I heard Cecilia when we were talking to the paladin. Obviously, that's my ears being stupid.
No, that's the name that he gave you. She's giving you a name that sounds very similar to that, and her appearance matches what he's.
Can I just
Giving you.
facepalm and say she's lying? And this facepalm thing is on my head like this. I don't understand why everyone slapped herself in the head, but she's lying. I'm going to try and do it too, because I don't understand why we're doing it.
Doc is going to turn around and go, and he's going to try and be very calm about it. He's going to say, "Tordrum, you need to quiet down. You need to stop with all the interrogating. We're in enemy territory right now. So just
Fine.
Okay.
I'm going to go sit on my rug and sulk.
okay." So Docker is then going to turn around to Cecilia and say, "Oh, actually, I know. Can I tell with my thieves' cant that she's out of place, or not out of place, that she's not comfortable and she's not okay, and that maybe she's in danger?"
You're not interpreting anything in terms of like the Assassin Guild or your like roguish sign languages or anything like that, but it doesn't take a genius to notice that she is decidedly different from all of the other girls who are dressed like her, i.e. this one, and even though she's in another room with somebody, this one. I'll just quickly make them available to you all.
Okay, so Docker is then going to say very, very in a very low tone, almost like a whisper. He's going to say, been sent by someone who was a red paladin by the name of, I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Rhino,
That's the
Renaud
one.
Chevalier de la Follette.
some
He only introduced himself.
Docker's going to say, in a very low tone, almost like a whisper, he's going to say, we've been sent by a red paladin by the name of Renaud Chevalier de la Foray.
Something like that.
Me with the accents. We've been sent to come and save someone by the name of Cecilia, or of something of that variety of name. Do you know who I'm talking about?
She immediately starts shaking her head and is like, no, there's nobody by that name here. At which point the black woman comes over. So, Cecilia, Alia, go behind the bar and see if they can bring any more drinks. She sort of scampers off.
Okay.
Superhero.
Oh, thank you not to interrogate my girls.
Superhero.
What business do you have here?
Superhero.
I have rug.
No business with you. And I walk up the stairs and onto the balcony.
Can I show her the rug?
With this rogue over here, which
I've taken with me. I've taken it.
Love it.
yes, that's the rogue that I paid a lot of money for. Why do you have it?
It's from my home. You should not have it. You're not lizard person.
No, but the people that I bought it from were.
Which people?
Well, that, unfortunately, is my business and not yours. Give it back, or I'll have my guards escort you out.
Then bring Lady back. Docker was talking to Lady. I give rug back and give Lady back.
Just says if we can leave the cup here where it is and going back for that later. We here for something else now.
I did persuade. I did a 19 persuasion on her.
Okay, so she's allowed you to return the rug, as it were, and
She bring it in,
What?
so can we talk to the lady then?
Stop throwing it, buddy.
very well. If you have business, shall we say, with her, and she folds her arms under her breast as she says so, to sort of poke them up a bit. Then you may talk to her, but no more interrogating and upsetting my girls.
I gave you the rug back. Bring her back to talk.
She'll be back when she's done with her duties. So, David, what did you say you were doing?
So, I haven't actually spoke to anybody yet, have I?
No.
Okay, so she's currently behind the bar.
Yeah.
And so did she look like any sort of like upset or anything like when Docker was sort of interrogating her?
She
or,
was getting
like,
upset.
Yes,
do I
whenever
get like a kind of
Docker mentioned the name, obviously you don't know what was said, she basically panicked and then ran away.
okay. What do I want to do here?
Docker is going to kind of gesture towards Kashan that is her.
Okay.
At which point one of the hookers comes over to you.
Whilst also kind of suggesting that she's in some way upset or scared or basically in fear of her life.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to make you do a performance check to see if you can sign language all of this to Kashan.
No, that's fair enough.
Yes, performance between performance. This is good.
I mean, I just nat 20'd, so that's
Okay.
22.
Wow.
Okay, so you make like a series of wild sign languages, and somehow Docker Kashan understands this perfectly. And
Great. All right. So, I'd like to approach the bar.
okay.
where I'm kind of not able to be.
Don't worry, just put
yeah,
you can just plonk yourself
I'm on the bar. And what do I?
You can talk
Actually,
to,
no. So what I'll do is I'm going to go and speak to this woman who seems to be sort of running things,
Mhm.
and ask if I can speak to what was her name? Cecilia?
Right, so-
Cecilia.
Yeah.
Right, so the
ask
red
if I can sort of speak to her alone.
Yeah, sure. The Red Paladin basically called her Cecilia, but she's calling herself Ceciliacia.
Cecilia.
That's the one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd like to approach this woman and sort of, like ask if I can sort of speak to her alone.
Well, time is money. I'm sure you'll agree. Should you want a private audience with her, that will cost you.
Can I offer her?
And what would be the cost?
Well, there is, of course, a discount on her inexperience, shall we say? Shall we say 5 silver?
Can I offer her a blanket from my people that's obviously like top notch because she obviously likes our rugs?
Do you have a blanket for
Yes,
me?
I do have a blanket in my inventory. Thank you very much. I just checked.
Okay.
I have another rug. I don't know what the word for blanket is in people language. So I'm calling it a rug, and I'm looking around hoping somebody can correct me.
Give me a persuasion check.
I did a 19 earlier, and you never used it, so can I claim that 19?
Yeah, that was the 19 to make sure that she didn't throw you out for stealing her rug.
I didn't steal her rug, she stole mine. Some reason I pressed performance. 16.
Okay.
17.
There you go. And I got a +1 from the child, so 17.
Okay, that can work. She'll be done with her duties behind the bar in a few minutes. If you want to ensconce yourself in the second room, she'll be with you shortly.
Okay. I'll make my way up to the second room. I assume this one.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll make my way up there and sort of.
Because she shows
Let-
interest, can I start showing her all the other stuff that I have in my bag from my people?
And she basically signals to you, one moment, and she goes over to the bar. Ciliacia, room number 2. Do exactly as you've been told, and always remember, if you need help, your sisters are waiting outside. And she comes back over to you.
Yeah, the
As
sister that stood next to me.
Yeah, as I sort of walk up, noticing the girl sort of stand outside, I'd like to sort of subtly ask Docker if he can lure her away in some sense.
No.
He's already got his arm wrapped around her.
Or just to kind of, give us some privacy, kind of.
No. Oh, no. Docker is going to turn around to this girl who stood next to him and is going to go you'll understand the accent that it's going to be in when I say the words. Are you ready? So he's going to turn to this girl and he's going to say, "Hello there."
Hello there.
Oh, God.
That is perfect.
And then Frank appears next to you. You are a bald one.
I unsheath my knife and put it to his neck.
Of course, Frank is here. Why are you sitting there? Okay.
I put my knife
No.
back into my sleeve and then turn back to the girl and again go, "Hello there."
So, what are you doing here today? Is there anything I might tempt you with?
Is this Frank or the girl talking?
The girl.
No, this
Frank
is the girl.
disappeared.
Frank's disappeared.
It's okay. I love you.
Love you.
Yeah, so Docker's going to say, I don't know. Are you up to the challenge?
Yeah, it depends on the size of your... She looks down. coin toss.
Oh, no way! I'm not doing a penis roll. I'm not doing it.
Hey, she said coin first. Take that one you will.
Okay, so at this point, the girl walks past you, goes into the room, and closes the curtains.
Okay. I say, how about we go find out in room 3?
Why go into room 3 when we can go into the first room?
We can go into the first room if you'd prefer.
Perfect. And so and she basically suggestively walks past you, making sure that making sure that her legs brush against yours as she walks past. And then she just calls down the stairs, room 1, and then goes inside.
Okay.
So Michele and Nat, at the bottom of the stairs, you notice that the black woman has now stopped talking to you and is now heading upstairs.
I have more. I have more goods. I'm emptying my
Wait
thing.
here.
In time, I have something that I need to attend to.
But you like my rug.
I do. Make yourselves comfortable. Have a drink on the house. I shall be back momentarily.
Okay.
I don't know how more distracting I can be. She won't play with no more rugs.
So, Doc, are you going into the room with her?
No, you secretly stitched it closed and she can't get out.
Is the door still open?
She's sort of like holding the curtain open for you, yes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to then, aren't I?
Yep.
I was gonna do it in a way where she shuts the door and I wait, but I can't.
Okay, so she basically heads upstairs, and you can't see because of where the balcony is, but she's basically gone into this side room here, and is now sort of like in this back corridor.
Okay, can
I'm sitting over the bar.
Yep.
Can I do something really, really distracting and like climb onto the bar and start helping myself to drinks?
Okay, so the bartender sort of like looks up at you and is like, lizard, down.
Lady said help self to drink.
With reason, what would you like?
People tears.
Do you mean that's literally, or do you mean the vodka?
The drink from my homeland is called people tears.
Yes, so the vodka then. And so he pulls out a bottle which is
And some fireball. I want mixed.
which is covered
Now.
which is covered in dust, and he pours out a shot of it, and the thing seems to be so strong that it smokes,
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and so basically pushes the glass toward you. Michele, do you want to drink?
Yeah, I'll drop one.
Same thing, or
Yeah, same as the lizard.
I'm
okay?
going to make us roll for it in this one.
Oh yeah, you asked for it.
I know. I have
Yeah.
got a plan in my head. I'm not entirely stupid, people. If there is one thing that Tromdor is good at, I'm damn good distraction techniques.
Okay, so Michele, Nat, can you give me a Constitution saving throw?
I didn't know which one you were going to do. If you're going to do
You in
Constitution
hell, lady.
performance.
Oh,
16.
four.
What did you get, Michele?
4.
Four.
It comes up on my screen as well.
Okay, so you've both consumed a glass of Fireball liqueur, and it's named Fireball for a reason. So, Michele,
Yeah.
you take a drink and you feel it burn as it goes down your throat, and then immediately you feel an immense belch come up, and as you belch, fire explodes out of your mouth.
Can I throw a blanket in front of you so it's the blanket on fire?
Give me a sleight of hand.
Or like a scarf or something. Just something. 5.
You miss. What did you get, Nat?
16.
Okay. You feel a similar sensation as it goes down your throat, but instead of fire erupting from your mouth, mere a cigarette puff of smoke just erupts from your mouth. Everyone around you seems to be quite impressed that you're able to hold it down.
Another. Can I challenge this person? I can't click it, can't ping it for some reason. There we go. To join us.
Give me a persuasion check.
Drinking competition.
Okay. Right, so I'll pause
19.
that. I'll pause that for a moment. David, what are you doing?
I'd like to roll a perception check on the room before I say anything or do anything.
Can anybody work out what I'm doing?
Alright, I rolled a 16. I don't know if I add anything to perception. 2 seconds. I've closed D&D Beyond somehow. Perception. I have +1, so 17.
Okay. You don't know if it's your imagination or not, but you've heard the sounds of doors closing, and then the sounds of some sort of wooden slider, as if like you know those holes in doors that people sometimes have that they can look through and then they can close again.
They're called peepholes.
Yeah, peepholes. You've sort of deduced that a peephole has been opened somewhere, but you don't know where.
Okay. Do I have any sort of like insight as to like roughly where it is, or just know that it's
Oops.
Yes, somewhere along this wall, but you don't know where.
okay? Give me a second. What do I have?
Oh, try to look for cameras.
Well, what I was going to attempt to do is sort of like have my back to where I think the like slider is, and sort of like
Doesn't fit
in
this one.
writing
It doesn't work.
ask if the girl is okay or safe.
Yeah, sure, you can do that.
But I don't think I have anything that's like sort of to write with, unless that's sort of something I could do.
Yeah, there's. I'll just say there's a piece of paper and stuff just like sitting on the cushion thing.
Okay. So I'd write down asking if she's safe.
And of course I'm safe. I'm very clean. She seems genuinely bewildered as to why you would ask that.
Right. I'll ask why she's here.
Well, is that really what you want to spend your time doing? I mean, I'm here to do a job, aren't I?
Both.
Okay, I'd like to ask for the real answer and roll for intimidation.
Okay.
So, because I've got a +4 to intimidation, so
God, this guy I'm badly.
13. What would he? So 13 plus 17.
Okay. Well, there's no need to, get like that. I mean, so if you don't like me, I can get one of the other girls to come in if you want.
No, that's fine. Right. This definitely isn't going the way that. Alright, I'll just stop writing things down and just say out loud. You seemed concerned when the Red Paladin was mentioned.
So he did send you. Are you going to beat me as he beat me as well? Is that why you're here?
I'll say that he asked us to find you, but I won't bring any harm to you.
Well, I find that hard to believe. I came here to get away.
Well, I just intimidated her.
I came here to get away from that monster, and now he sent you as well. So if you're going to hurt me, then you might as well get it over with. At least that I get paid to be hurt here. At least the I've got people to tend to my wounds after people like him are done with me. So go on then. Do what you're here for.
I'd like to roll persuasion that I'm actually not going to hurt her.
Okay.
So I've got a +2 to persuasion. However, I only rolled a 10, so 12.
Strangely enough, that's enough.
Hey!
But you're not one of Reynolds' cronies then? You're not here to... Well, you're not here to, do evil things?
No, we mean you no harm. We're looking for information on the murders, and your brother claimed to have information but asked us to help find you first.
Okay, well then you probably best speak to the Mistress Essentia. If you're here about the murders, it was one of our girls who got killed, and she was the one who brought me to this place to protect me from my brother.
Okay, I will say out, very out loud, sort of looking around the room to sort of say, you might as well come in, I know you're listening.
Very well. Meet me downstairs. We'll might as well talk about this over a drink.
I can drink.
Doco, what are you doing?
I think I'd like to sort of pop my, head in to room 1 and tell him to come downstairs.
And what?
I'd say, please don't leave me upstairs.
And Doco, what does he stick his head in to witness?
Why?
Oh God. I imagine you stick your head in to Docker, probably been back to the bed, stood on the bed, going, "What the hell are you doing?"
Oh, isn't this what you paid for? I mean, you have a very strange way of enjoying yourself.
I'm gonna sort of look to the girl, tell her that she's barking up the wrong tree, and just gesture for her to meet us downstairs.
Well, no, funnily enough, Docker was going to go, "Yeah, this is my kink," and then walk out.
And then she calls out after you. You do realise there's no refunds for non-service, right?
Docker runs back in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 minutes later.
Yep.
Right.
Docker comes out.
2 seconds.
So the Lady Essentia is basically sitting at the bar, and she's sitting in a very provocative manner, revealing both of her legs under her dress and showing off that she's got a lot of jewellery bangles put around her ankles and stuff.
Ooh.
So, you'll hear about the murders.
That is the main reason we're here. Technically, is the white-haired girl with her, or is it just...
No, she's just talking at the bar. The white-haired girl's still in the room. She hasn't come out.
Alright, I'll sort of fill her in that the paladin's looking for his sister, who we believe is the white-haired girl.
She basically goes, "Paladin." Don't make me laugh. Just by the mere...
But sort of confirm that he was the one that was sort of asking her to be there.
Oh, please. That man can faith his way out of a tinderbox. Just by the stories of what she's told us, we're lucky that we'd be lucky if lightning descended down from the sky and blew him out of his armour. The man is a monster.
I definitely got that feeling about him.
Well, I doubt the two are related. In all honesty, Cecilia Acia came to us about 2 weeks ago now. She'd been starved, beaten, and one of our girls had taken pity on her and brought her in. I mean, we normally don't bring in girls as young as her, but she was willing,
No,
to say the
go
least.
in, it's open.
Um,
Eating
but-
it or not?
I generally tend to try and ensure that she isn't used, as it were. I generally tend to have her work behind bars and serve drinks, and I had a feeling you wouldn't have interest in her, as it were, so hence why I allowed her to be with you. But about a week ago, one of my girls, she was brutally murdered and her body just discarded in the street, and well, this place hasn't been the same since. But to say the Acer has taken this particularly badly, and all we can really do now is just hope that the killer doesn't strike again, as it were. We're safe inside the walls of this facility, and none of my girls feel the need to venture outside, but I am concerned for my patrons. This place does seem to be the target of the malevolence of the killer.
Do you think the paladin, quote unquote, could be the killer?
It's very possible. I wouldn't put anything past him, but could be anybody. But the first killings that happened here, back when Jack the Ripper was the main news of the streets, I mean those were dark times for my profession, shall we say. But it is how I got this job, as it were. But as for investigations, nobody's looking into it. Nobody cares about the lives and deaths of women of my accomplishment, shall we say.
I think I'd like to talk to the girl more about her brother.
You finished.
Like, I feel like we need some more information as to like what this guy is, because like I have it in my head that this dude's the killer,
Okay.
just from the way he was kind of acting.
Okay. So as you're talking, but the girl who Docker had been with, she basically comes out onto the balcony, and this is timed quite incidentally with the fact that the band has finished playing its song, and she then starts singing in a very hypnotic fashion. So it's a very eerie melody, and it seems to echo around the the entire building without any trouble. So can all of you give me a wisdom saving throw?
What? Sorry, wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom, yep.
22.
Yep.
Oh no.
I got a 2.
I got a 6.
I've got a 6 as well.
Okay, so
My wisdom's
ironically,
-1.
all of you except for the only woman in your group, you are now charmed.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
You're completely hypnotized by this girl singing, and you find that nothing else matters outside of what's going on here. So the woman basically, Osentia basically turns to Tordum. You may have noticed that we don't exactly offer a traditional service.
No.
Does that bother you at all?
No.
How interesting.
Well, you have my rugs. You're not supposed to have my rugs, so you're obviously not normal. And you serve plain whips and with fireball whiskey, which is not standard for humans. I haven't noticed it anywhere else. So you mustn't be normal. You mustn't be human.
And for the briefest moment, she basically smiles and then sort of looks down and then looks back up at you. And she's no longer the beautiful black lady who you've been talking to. She's now a very pale and purple, almost vampiric-looking creature. And then she basically lowers her head down and turns back into the black woman.
Rug?
What?
No.
Okay, so none of you guys have noticed this because you're still transfixed by the woman at the top of the stairs.
It's the love of my life.
Can I
I know.
chuck my drink that I've got in my hand?
Mm-hmm.
Can I chuck it in, like, on them? Like these two? I'm afraid I can't hit all of them at once.
Yeah,
They're
so
standing together. Can I aim it at them,
give me an attack roll.
like, to snap them out of it type thing? So what would I attack roll? What would I roll? Which one?
Actually, just give me another wisdom saving throw, and
I'll probably do really crap on this one, won't I?
you go.
Oh, natural 20. 23.
Okay, so you basically managed to.
During this process, we've gone over their faces.
So you basically managed to get Docker and Kashan to wake up, as it were. You go try the same for Turek.
Yeah.
Now give me another one.
16.
Okay. So Turek, you're now awake, as it were.
Beautiful.
They're not normal. They heard that whole
What
little
the
bit
hell
when I
just
said, well, I know
happened?
they're not human, I've done it, and they heard the little bit at the end where I've said that she's not, they can't be human if they've got stuff from my homeland, because we don't trade with humans.
Okay. You haven't noticed her shapeshift, but you've basically heard that part. So you're now looking around and you can see that literally everybody in the building, bar the actual women themselves, are all transfixed by this this music. So Essentia basically says, well, if you are set in solving these murders, and if you are secure in your mind that the Red Paladin is behind this, you need evidence. If you were to simply murder the Red Paladin for suspected crimes, that's all the authorities would see. My girls would suffer the consequences of that.
But you're not human?
Neither are you.
I know, and I regularly get told off because apparently eating things raw is a bad thing. Or just general eating whatever I can find is a bad thing.
Yes, unfortunately, humans are very mysterious in that regard, and complicated and contradictory.
Do I
And
know what she
looks
is?
She looks at Turek and just goes, "No offense."
Do I know what she is?
I'm bacon.
Give me give me an insight check.
20.
Okay, so originally your first thought was a vampire, but then you're looking at her and you're seeing she doesn't have the only sort of vampire that you've seen having that sort of like level of purpleness in their skin have been very starved ones. So your mind then settles on Siren.
Okay. So as a siren, does she eat people or is she...
Yes.
It eats people.
Yeah.
So what is your favourite kind of thing to eat then? Because I get told off if I try to eat people.
Well,
What do you eat to not get caught eating people?
well, I haven't eaten people for quite some time. Like, before I came here, I lived on this isle before humans came, and I fed on the sailors who would be shipwrecked on the rocks here, or would be lured in by my song.
What do you eat now then?
I don't. I'm quite accustomed to eating human food now.
Oh.
While it doesn't give me the nutritional value that I require, it does sustain us.
Did you turn the paladin's sister into a siren?
Not yet. She's very willing, though.
Okay. So she chose to be here. Can I point out to these people, has anybody actually been listening to my conversation?
Yeah, we've just kind of been in a bit of a daze since being charmed, I think.
Well, I kind of chucked
pretty
my alcohol in your face and woke you up. I don't think she realises, but you should have been able to situate that I know
Busy deciding whether or not we should attempt to fight these sirens.
She's a
Like,
siren,
considering the
but she
fact
doesn't
that
eat
three
people
of us-
anymore. And she's turning the paladin's sister into a
I'm go-
siren.
Yes. Oh.
But if she's willing to become a siren,
Yes.
But
is that so bad?
But is she willing or is she charmed?
Well, I thought Matt said.
Can we ask her? Has
I
she
thought Matt
asked?
said that
can
all
we
the
ask
women
the
weren't
blonde lady?
weren't
Sorry, one
charmed.
at a time. Right, sorry, Josh, what did you say?
Did you say that all the women aren't charmed?
Yeah, basically the women who are all dressed in red. But
So the ones that
No.
work here aren't charmed.
yeah, the bards.
Does that include not Cecilia? Oh my God, Cecilia, whatever her name
We'll
is.
call her Cecilia.
Yeah, of course, Cecilia. I know who you mean. But at this point, you can't tell. She's still sitting in the room.
Right. Okay.
Ugh.
Can you prove that she wants to be part of you? Can I go ask her?
Of course, she's still in room 2.
Okay, I'll be back.
Wait, I'm gonna choose to believe these people.
You can
Or
do
at
an
least sort of
inside
just
check.
not.
You can do
or
an
at least I'm
inside
not
check
gonna-
if you want to see if you can tell if they're lying.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do some sort of. Let's do. What is my
Can I
insight?
also can I speak to
Oh.
the shadow in the back of my head, please?
Sure. Hello,
Um,
I'm your shadow. Please leave a message. Hello, your shadow is not available right now. Please leave your name and number after the tone.
Oh, for God's sake.
What do you want to ask?
Right.
I want to ask him how do you feel about everything that's going on? Do you know anything about these sirens?
Okay. Unfortunately, sorry, give me a sec. Unfortunately, your shadow is still charmed.
No, he's not. Oh no.
Right,
Doc
I'm gonna. Right.
Doc is going to scream in infernal. Wake up!
No,
Out
Like
loud.
in his own
not,
head.
not in his head. Out loud.
and the shadow basically goes, bah, 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 bah. Sorry, yes?
I got
And then I'll go on. You sorry. You
I
go,
was going to
baby.
say I got a 16 on my insight, so well I rolled a 17, but I got -1 to wisdom. So.
Okay, she's sitting in a very provocative nature, which is very much sort of designed to mislead people just in general. But from what you can tell by breaking through that, she is telling the truth, but you don't know why she's telling you the truth.
Right. Okay.
Michaeli, do you want to do anything?
No. I'm still there. Try not to throw up over the drink.
Okay, sure.
Alright. Did she give us any actual like information about like the murders that happened? Like, she said she could believe it was the paladin, but we didn't actually ask her about like the girl who had been killed, did we?
You can ask her if you want.
No.
Yes. I mean, I'll ask her if what she knows about the murders. She's like, you know, she said we'd need proof to prove it was the paladin. So I'd like to know what she knows.
Well, I mean, I provide accommodation for my girls here, and but every now and then they feel the need to spread their wings, as it were, and she decided to go out into the street to take flight, and when she didn't come back, we grew concerned, and we went out after her, and we found her impaled on a spike, naked, and her wings had been cut from her body, and her breast had also been sawn off.
What the fuck?
Whoever did this is a monster. But even among my kind, who are considered the monsters of this world, I've never seen anything so barbaric.
What do you think may cause the mutilation?
And she sort of shakes her head and says, I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, humans don't need any reason to be brutal. Again, no offense.
Why do you constantly think he's a human?
No. In all honesty, humans are the more, shall we say, numerous species here. And there's a few dwarfs, a few elves, but majoritively the people here are human.
I did take my criticism.
De Winter isn't exactly known for its cultural tolerance.
Oh my god.
I'm taking her trays out of the drawer.
And a really was coming
I need to
out.
tidy up some as well.
Okay, so Nat, did you talk to...
Yeah.
What did you ask her?
I asked her if she was being turned into a siren of her own choice or under duress. She could be honest because I have no problem with that.
Okay. Well, I would like to be a siren. It's I've always wanted to be able to fly. I'm not
Do you
particularly.
know it entails possibly eating humans?
Oh no, Lord Essentia said that we wouldn't be eating anybody, wouldn't be hurting anyone. We'd just be.
Sirens do sometimes eat humans. Would that bother you?
Well, sometimes, but I've got no plans on eating people.
Why don't you like your brother?
He's. Well, after my mother and father died, he raised me, but he wanted me to basically do everything his way. And when I would say no, he would beat me with a leather belt. And then when, shall we say, I grew to an age which would profit him, he would, well, make profit from me.
So you now make money for yourself, not for him.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. I'm going back downstairs. You want to come downstairs? I have lots of rugs and fireball.
No, I want to stay here.
Okay. Shall I send big friend back?
I'm ready to come back.
No, thank you. I'd like to be alone.
Okay. Have a rug.
Happening.
I just put it like round her shoulders. Hopefully somebody realises I'm talking about a blanket. I just don't know the word.
Okay, so Docker, what are you doing?
I imagine Docker's just trying to take everything in that's being said. He's very suspicious, and obviously he's tried to speak to the shadow in his head, and he's just gone. What? Who are you? Sounds like a drunk dwarf almost.
I think we need to have a sort of word with the paladin. Thoughts? Team?
No.
Mhm.
Do you want to go talk to the paladin?
I go kill Paladin.
Yep.
Michele?
We go see Paladin. I can eat him. He's human. I eat human.
We need to be a bit rational on it. We don't need to rush on a decision. I just wanna we can just talk to him first and see how it goes. Try not to assault him right away. Let's understand even his side of the story first.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good plan. Let's maybe not immediately kill the paladin.
You say that very pointedly to Docker.
Yes.
You do have to bear in mind that he failed to mention the fact that he abused his sister.
Well, if you think about
If it
it,
helps,
though,
he sold her
his
as a
sister's been
prostitute.
abused by his brother or whatever Templar thingy it is. But she comes to a sex house to be abused and paid.
Let's do it on
Yes,
her terms, though.
Yes,
Right.
but that was on her terms, whereas she said that he was being paid for her to be abused. and she was getting nothing from it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
are you heading back
Let's
to the
not
street?
immediately kill him, but I don't intend on.
I won't immediately kill him, but I can't promise that I won't slip a few of his fingers off.
Okay.
Given the circumstances, I
Don't
can
have the
accept
rug.
thanks, then we decide.
Okay, so you head back to the street. The paladin is now helping this guy at the bottom basically pull things out of his cellar.
I suppose we can go speak to
I'd
him.
like to approach him and ask him a few questions.
Sorry, my it takes me ages to move. There you
Is that fine?
Are you two joining him?
Yep.
I mean, do you want me to answer that as Docker?
Yeah, sure, if you want.
So, Docker wants to walk straight up to him, grab him by his chest plate and push him up against the wall and hold him there.
Okay. Give me an intimidation check.
Oh, I can do this. That is 15 plus 4, so that's a 19.
Okay, so you push him up against the wall. But this guy basically goes another time then and disappears into the cellar.
Smart decision.
And the paladin's like, "My friend, what are you doing?" What is this? Unhand me.
I have a bone to pick with you, Paladin.
I
Can
think
I
we
eat the
need to
meat off
give
the
him
bone?
the time to explain everything, right, guys?
What was that, Michele?
I think we need to give him the time to explain everything, right, guys? I mean, give it time.
So are you going to try and dissuade Docker from breaking some fingers?
I'm going to tell him to ask questions first while also growling at the paladin.
Well, yeah.
Right, so Docker, do you release him?
Do I what, sorry?
Do you release him?
No.
Okay.
That was a very definitive no.
Alright, so...
Didn't even have to think about that answer.
Okay, so who's asking first?
I will hold him there, and I'll turn to Kashan to like gesture to ask the question.
Can I put my bib on?
Yeah, I was
and,
going to say, I will
start, like,
snarlingly
put my claws
over the
together?
back of this.
Right, so what was that? What was that, David?
So yeah, I'll let's see. So I want to be like sort of like behind Docker at this point, like snarling over the top of him directly at the paladin, so he knows that I'm also not best pleased with him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say we had an interesting conversation with your sister
You found her
about
then?
why she's in there in the first place.
You found her? Where is she?
I don't think that's something you need to know.
I demand that you tell me where she is.
I demand you explain why you're looking for her.
Well, why am I looking for her? She's my sister, and I wish to save her from being turned into a monster.
What's your problem with monsters?
I pull out my knife and put it to his throat and say, "You say that you are a man of faith."
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Place down. Don't need that.
Okay, how are you going to try and defuse the situation, Michele?
Well, I will try to, because I guess this is what Turek will do, so...
Mm-hmm.
Turek's gonna stop Docker from killing people.
No. Well,
I think we would make a pretty awesome killing team. Docker would kill it and I'd eat the evidence.
Yeah.
yes, I'll try to separate them, try to not getting the paladin get hurted, until you can reply to the questions first.
Okay, so McKelly and Josh, can you both give me strength checks, please?
Oh,
Oh well, this will be fun.
it will be.
Well, that's an 8 minus 1, so 7.
I've done 17.
Okay, so you successfully managed to separate the two.
Right. Now let's be rational. Do not rush into things, and let's try to understand everything before we judge. And God bless you. Shall we go to Korean?
So the paladin basically straightens up and brushes himself down. So, very well. Tell me what you have found.
That you are a liar.
A
How
liar?
do you know that she'd be turned into a monster if you don't know where she is?
Well, I know that the establishment is run by monsters that used to feed off of the flesh of humans.
You have a problem with this?
Yes, I do. For I'm a man of virtue and righteousness.
I'm a lizard of
May I-
virtue and righteousness.
May I introduce you to Tordrum, who also eats people?
I'm just like putting my little bib on and like sharpening my claws and licking my fangs. And I like liars. They taste nice.
This is just my luck. I asked for help and I'm given to the aid of heathens and cannibals and heretics.
Technically, I'm not a cannibal because you're not the same species as me.
Well, so be it. If you will not rescue my sister from those monsters, I shall do it myself. If you should
Sounds more like
Not
it
monsters.
sounds more like to me that they have saved her from you.
Ma'am, okay.
What'd you say, McKelly?
Nothing.
It's like
my-
I want to, but I don't want to.
Right, so Josh, what did you say?
I said, it sounds more like they have saved her from you.
You may think that, heathen, but I do not care what you think. If you are not willing to rescue her from the monsters, I shall do it myself, and I shall do it without your aid. Farewell, and pray that you do not cross paths with me again. So pushes past you,
Oh,
McKelly.
I pray I cross paths with you again.
And he basically storms off and out of the immediate area.
I can say that went well, did it?
I didn't get my
Well,
dinner,
I promised I wouldn't kill him.
and I didn't eat him, so technically that was a win-win.
Yeah, we did well, people. We did well. Oh. I got. What is that doing? Do I notice it?
Give me a perception check.
I'm pretty good at recognizing this wolf as well. I'm going to give a perception check too.
Can I sniff the wolf?
You can try and get close to it if you want. But let them.
I got an 18.
I rolled that 12.
Okay. You do know that it's there, and you both recognise it as the same wolf. Do you want to try and sniff it?
I'm going to approach the wolf.
14.
You also recognise it as the same wolf. I'm assuming that was investigation.
Yes.
Okay.
Does it smell like anything else other than the other wolf that I've smelled before?
Sorry, what did you get?
14.
You do recognise the smell. However, this smell is sort of interrupted with the smell of incense. As if it's
Bleeding people burning sticks interferes with my sense of smell. Do you need a toilet?
okay. David, can you give me an animal handling check?
It's okay.
Ooh, animal handling. I have nothing to that, so yeah. I got a 3.
So you basically sort of like kneel down to be more on the wolf's level, and it backs away.
Can I add something? What do the people do and say when they see this wolf coming into the Undercity?
The surrounding people don't seem to pay much heed. A sort of like initial glance makes people like look around and like go, "Oh, it's a really big wolf," but then they seem to have some level of recognition with it and just sort of like let it be.
So they know him. It.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
They don't seem to have any sort of familiarity with it. Like they're not like saying, "Oh, hello, wolf. It's good to see you," or anything. It's just more a case of, "Oh, there's a wolf. Let's leave it alone."
I don't know if I'm concerned by the fact that these people are nonchalant about a wolf just wandering around. Alright, I mean, if it's not gonna do anything more... Can I attempt to talk to it?
Sure.
Right
Yeah.
about.
No, I'll just ask who it is. I guess, like a direct, like, who are you, kind of.
Okay, the wolf simply sits down and then cocks its head. But it doesn't seem to have the capability of talking to you.
Okay.
Oh, if we have a druid.
So is it actually like just a wolf?
It's a very large wolf. It has glowing yellow eyes and is jet black, like a very unnatural level of black. You know, a normal black wolf would be considered grey in comparison to this creature.
Oh, okay. But it doesn't seem to be causing any sort of like harm or anything. So
No, not yet.
okay.
Can I do a perception check to see if he's wearing the charms that Scott had in his hands earlier?
Sure.
An 18.
Okay, you put. The dog isn't actually. Sorry, the wolf isn't actually wearing anything. Like, it's not wearing a collar or anything like that. It's naked, as it were. But you do, however, in sort of like the back of your mind, still sort of in sort of like magical capacity, connection with your spirit. So your shadow, rather. You are sort of like experiencing something magical about this wolf.
Okay, can I kind of walk closer towards Kashan
Mm-hmm.
and then say, I think it's a shapeshifter, like the people in the Alpha space.
And with that, the dog sort of starts sticking its tongue out and panting.
Can I go closer and sniff it again?
Sure, give me an animal handling check.
A 9.
So 9.
Yeah, 9.
Okay. As you
10, I forgot my +1. 10.
Okay, so as you approach, it begins to back away as well.
Can Docker just say very outrightly, because I imagine it's something that Docker would do. Can he just look at it and go, "God, are you stalking us?"
The dog sort of inclines its head and then lets out an almighty sneeze, and then just simply turns around and walks away.
I think we should probably head back to the Alpha base and sort of fill people in as to what's
Yeah.
going on.
Alright.
This wolf. Oh.
Alright, so let me just rearrange you guys. Thanks, not there.
Oh damn, Frank.
Okay, so bear with me. Just need to roll as to what Padwin's doing. Yeah, God. Okay, right. Alright, so you've arrived at the Alpha base. What would you like to do?
Go find
person
Just
more brains than me.
You just go enter them.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Hello.
I'm back again. It's done the same thing again, we're just disconnected. Alright. Well, I'm back.
Okay.
We are back. This. Okay.
Okay, so you enter the Alpha base. George is waiting by the door as usual. He's like, please be mindful that there is a super speeding streak in the Alpha base.
The cat's naked, isn't it?
So,
It's not Frank that's naked, is it?
fortunately not, but unfortunately this is equally as hazardous.
Can I chase it?
You can certainly try, but we've been trying for the last hour.
Okay, I'm gonna go into the room and see what's
Okay.
occurring.
So basically, effectively running around the room, as it were. Basically, in this sort of line is effectively a black and orange blur, which is just like going around and round and round in the room, causing an immense sort of almost whirlwind effect as it's running past. And all of a sudden, Padwin just suddenly stops as next to you, like hello, and then starts zooming off again.
Can I?
I'd like to imagine that he takes my legs from underneath me.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity save. Oh, I'm okay with that. 17.
Okay, you just managed to step out of the way and into the centre of the room as Padwin races past you.
Cool.
Can I try to catch it instead?
So?
Can I try to catch it instead?
Yeah, sure. Give me also a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, fuck's sake. 9.
Okay.
It was supposed to be 18. Alright.
Unfortunately, you miss, and he carries on running around. And then he stops next to you. Hello! And then runs off again.
Cute. Yeah, I'll step out.
So Scott basically comes in upon hearing this, and nimbly manages to step over the streak, and basically just said, before you asked, he accidentally cast haste on himself 6 times. We're hoping that the effect of the spell will just simply stop.
Well, let's hope.
Okay, just come in.
So, what have you discovered?
Okay. So, where to start? I'd like to ask him if he knew that the establishment was run by sirens.
Well, we suspected, yes. I won't lie, this we're using this mission as kind of test for you. To see what sort of people you are.
Test.
Okay. Okay, I'd like to just fill him in on everything that we know about the Paladin. So, we met him. He asked us to find his sister. We found her. She said that she was beaten by him, stuff like that, all the abuse, etc. And now that she wants to become a siren,
Well,
and give him the overview as to.
Hi, Daddy.
well, I would say you have something of a conundrum, as it were. Padwin is continuously zooming around the room. So, you have a choice, as it would appear. You can either defend the girl against her brother, in which case you'll be killing a human being in defense of monsters, or you can fulfill the, shall we say, the tenets of the alphas, as they're written, and kill the monsters.
But the monsters haven't done anything wrong?
Well, the majority of monsters seldom do anything wrong. It's simply the fact that they are monsters that groups like us exist.
But you're shapeshifters,
True.
which are monsters too.
Very,
So,
very
that
true.
sucks.
And there are those in this world who would quite happily have us eliminated on that principle also. So, as I say, you have a choice to make.
Docker would like to interject into the conversation by saying, he's basically, I can't think of how to word it, but he's basically going to say, I don't believe in killing the people who have saved an innocent person from a destructive brother.
How do we know that is the brother the murderer?
We don't know he's the murderer, but we do know he's a monster.
We don't know he's the murderer, but
You're not
he abused
playing
his
on my
sister
phone.
and then claims he is a man of faith.
Padwin
Well,
could...
if he done these things to the sister, I think we can even go higher and report it to the whatever group he's following, and trying to get it out of the paladin group or whatever.
I feel like if we do that, though, by the time we do that, he will have already gone to kill all of the sirens that he said he was going to kill when I threatened him.
I'd like to confirm with Scott that whatever the decision is, it's our decision to make.
It is. We haven't exactly hired you just to simply be blind guns. We have brought you here to become alphas. And
Okay.
if you are going to become alphas, you need to know how to make decisions based upon what you know, and to live with the consequences of those decisions.
I think we should head to the establishment, because the paladin kind of made it clear that that was his intentions,
Can I interject?
to go and kill the sirens, as it were.
Sure.
Can I
I think
interject
that's
to
where
the
we need to head.
theoretical situation?
Go ahead.
If we went back to the brothel and he happened to turn up and attack everybody and we killed him in defense of the brothel, is that still against the ideals you were talking about? This is the Scott.
Yeah, good question.
So technically, if he came in and attacked the sirens who are not doing anything wrong, so we were defending them from an attacking thing, would you consider that a breach of killing the whatever mabobs?
I wouldn't. That's to say that there are those who would.
Such as?
Other people. I'm not going to say anybody here may hold a grudge against you, but should you decide to side with one side over the other, there will be consequences either way. Whether those are in your favour or against is something that you will have to deal with, and deal with it as alphas, the same way that we do.
I can deal with being judged by other people.
Okay,
I don't mind.
quick fourth wall break. This is basically a point in live video games, for example, where you would effectively choose your path. So so you can either choose to side with the put with the monsters and kill the humans, in which case you'll be judged by the Monster Hunting League, or you can side with humans and the monsters will views on you will be affected.
I said
What do you think?
I personally would side with the monsters.
I was out for monsters being a monster of my own.
Okay?
I don't know.
Okay, Docker?
I personally think that you should save the innocent victim, which in this case happens to
Yeah,
be.
that's
Yeah,
kind of
good.
what
That's what I
Watching
was
it in that
going with.
point, yes, I agree with you.
What?
Is it wrong to say
do
I'd
I
save her from both?
yeah do I think that the monsters have done bad before? Yes, but do I feel like the sister needs to be saved from a monstrous brother? Yes.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
I mean, technically, you can say there's monsters on both sides because the Red Paladin, in my view, is also a monster.
Should
Kill the
we head to
paladin.
the establishment, see what's kind of happening there, and sort of go from there?
All right, and see.
Yeah.
I guess we can judge from where we can see.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Okay. So you're heading back to the brothel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.